the first thing I'm going to write is current file, current underscore file, and that's going to equal $_server, and remember this is acts as an associative array, and the value we're going to give this, or the key we're looking for here, is script file name. So let's just let's include that in index, or include that in yeah, we'll include that in index.php. So require, let's go back, core.inc.php, and now here we can just echo that just to test it's working. So that is current underscore file, and let's go back and refresh our page. Okay, so current file is index.php. Let's go back to core.inc. I think what we could use is script file, perhaps. No. I think we can do script name. Oh, script name. Refresh there, see what we get. Okay, yeah, this is fine. So now what we've got is the location we want to submit a form to, because at the moment we're on index.php. However, if I was to say, just as an example, that we're not going to end up doing this, but in login form, if I was to require core.inc.php, and then I was to echo the current file, let's see how this changes. So at the moment we're on index.php, and that's showing us index.php, but because this is dynamic, it's going to update when we change the page. Okay, maybe not. Let's oh wait, sorry, yeah, we need to go to login form.inc.php, and then that gives us this value. So if the login form is included in index.php, then whatever we write in here is, whatever we write for the form action is going to be displayed. So let me just give you an example of that first of all. Let's open up PHP tags, and I'm going to echo current file. Now you might be thinking, well, we haven't required the core.inc.php file in here, so how on earth can we use this variable? Well, the answer is we've required it in index.php, and we've also required, sorry, not connect, we've required core here, but what we're going to do is we're going to include login form.inc.php. I'm going to include login form.inc.php, so then it will read it still from here. So think of this as a long page with these included. Now, getting your head around this structuring system may be difficult, but it just means that everything's kept neat and tidy and you can reuse things, etc, etc. So let's refresh and see what happens. Let's go back to index.php. Okay, so what we've got up at the moment, if we view the page source, you can see form action equals, and we're going back to index.php, even though this code exists. So even though we're inside login form.inc.php and we're echoing the current file, because this is included within index.php, what we're doing is we're still taking this file name, so we're submitting the data back to index.php, which is still going to be processed in login form.inc.php. So it's quite hard to understand, but eventually as we go along you'll get it if you haven't already. So we've done that. Now what we need to do is specify our username and password login fields. So let's say username, and we create a form field here, basic HTML, so type text, and the name of this is going to be username, and then we want the password, which is another input type. This time it's password, and the name is password. So the type of this is password, just so it's sort of starred out by our browser. And then let's create a submit button. So type equals submit, and the value of this, I'm going to say log in. So let's go back and refresh our index page. Okay, so you can see that we've got this login form now. Okay, so the next thing to do is process what's going to happen when this login form is clicked. So we can view an example of what's going to happen on the index.php page, even though we're processing it inside login form because we've included it. So let's first of all check if the username and password have been set, meaning the form has been submitted. So you may have seen this example a few times before. So we're saying if is set, and we're wrapping that in brackets, and we're specifying this post data here that's coming through, and we're saying and is set $_post, and the password as well needs to be set, and then inside the block we're checking if it's empty or not. So we're first of all saying is it set, and if it is, we're executing this block or running this block, and now we're saying if not empty, in fact no, we can redefine the variables here, or reinitiate them into another variable. So username equals $_post username, and password equals $_post password. Okay, so now we can say if not empty username and not empty password, do something, otherwise do something else. So the something else will be you must supply a username and password. And the if it is entered is, we'll just put for now okay. So let's see how this works. So we'll click index.php, refresh that page, click login, and it says you must supply username and password. Now what we can do is type something in, click login, and it says OK. So we're on index.php, but we're processing what's going on inside loginform.inc. So we're keeping the index file as clean as possible. And eventually we're going to put this into an if statement, into a block, which means if the user is logged in, we don't want to show this login form. Otherwise we want to show the login form.